Hello, guys. This is Vineet from Edge Forex, and today I wanted to talk about China, but I am not going to. The reason is the more I look into it, the more data I find, it getting even worse and worse, their situation. So it's work in progress. I will come out with it at some point next week once I have everything kind of together. Because I don't want to come out and give you guys half the information because it is something that is unfolding in real time. And I just want to make sure that I give you guys the right information and in its entirety. I don't want to give you half baked things and then have to come out again to kind of update it. But things are not good for China. It is looking really, really bad for them. And I couldn't be more bearish on China. I feel for Chinese people. I don't feel for the government. I feel for Chinese people because they are going to suffer in the upcoming decades, especially when around their demographics, when their population is going to have such a huge, huge, huge fall, and people do not realize the effect it's going to have on everything on them as a society. Things are looking very, very dire. So I will, I am working on it. It's still a work in progress. I will get more information. I'll put it together, put a slide deck together with all that information. I present it to you guys. So you guys are up to date and apprised on what's going on and not necessarily how to profit from it. But again, I will come back with that. It's work in progress. I just want to make sure I cover it in its entirety. And so today I wanted to talk about something different. AI, artificial intelligence, and how it's taken over a lot of things that we used to do manually, and how, in my opinion, is nothing but a house of cards as an industry, not as a technology. As an industry, is a house of cards. Like, and it has a lot of common in it today, like we saw in back in the day in .com, because I lived through it. So any company in the .com era with the name .com in it would get valued in billions and billions, even though it didn't have any viable business model. And it all thanks to VC culture that is still prevalent today. So VCs are like venture capitalists. They come in and invest in these companies, and then they start hyping them in the media through ads and through fake news, and then hoping that the valuation of the companies would go high. Then they take them public and they make loads and loads and loads of money. And at the end, the people that are holding the bag are the shareholders. So all the companies, they make money, the VCs, they make money, and then the bag holders are the shareholders at the end when everything collapses, especially companies when they don't have a viable business model and they are just incurring losses and losses and losses. Like companies like OpenAI, yes, they have an amazing product. ChatGPT 5 is amazing. I use it all the time. Everybody that I know are using AI in one shape, form, or another. Now, I am not here doubting our future. AI is our future. It is going to be part of everybody's life. It is going to be part of everything that we actually get involved with, be it production, be it education, be it logistics, uh, aeronautics, space, you name it. AI is going to be part of everything. It is going to eliminate so many jobs. It's not going to be funny. It is actually scary how many jobs AI is about to eliminate. It already started to eliminate. So that's it. I am not here debating the viability of AI as a technology. What I'm here saying is I have a very good case where AI as a business model in its current form. Okay, guys, I'm not saying there won't be a better business model. Like, for example, Amazon, when it first came out, and it was just a book. I used to sell books, and that's about it. And that particular model was not viable. But when Amazon expanded, and what it's become today is a totally different giant, totally different animal from when it first started. So same thing. OpenAI in its today the world, their current business model is just not sustainable because I'll get into the numbers. It's just not plain sustainable. So that is what I'm saying. So when I say AI is a house of cards, not as a technology, AI is house of cards when it comes to the business model, when it comes to the companies that are actually providing the services, the like of um, OpenAI and the sorry, Cursor and the Geminis and the Groks of the world. So these, for example, ChatGPT has a business valuation of over $500 billion. Now, they have not made a single penny yet. Yes, they have subscription money coming in, but 80% of their expenses of their is all uh, losses. So they're not even halfway there in covering their. But again, they're an early stage player. But the way they're going, they will never ever be profitable, and that is the case I'm trying to make. So, for example, you the user, okay, you are using AI as a free service. Okay, so now even that free service, if you're using it to the fullest, like so you get a daily quota of your usage where you can use, I don't know, around $2 worth in Grok and ChatGPT 5. You can use about $2 worth of the product usage every day at no cost, free. Okay, guys, and now millions and millions of people are actually using that. And those costs are never going to be recoverable. They will never recover those costs. That's just money out of pocket because they want people to get hooked to the new technology, and people are taking full advantage of it. But the scale is unfathomable. So these companies like OpenAI, they are losing money left and right. Companies like Twitter, with Grok, they are losing money left and right. Google, they have deep pockets, but still with Gemini, they're losing money like anything. But then you have some serious users who are actually paying upwards of $200 a year for the ChatGPT Plus or Gemini, like the second, the higher version tier of Gemini. So they're paying two, three, $400 a year for those services, but they are using those services very, very heavily. So now at the end, I could show you. Let me go to the next slide here. Okay. Now, okay. Yes. Now, ChatGPT, they don't have any computers. They just have the technology, they have the code. They have to run ChatGPT, their code, on a computing layer, on a set of servers. And these LLM, large language models, they take shitload of computing power. Like they need GPUs like never tomorrow. That is why Nvidia is doing so good, because they are the monopoly on these GPUs, and it's costing OpenAI upwards of $10,000. I'm right. I'm not making this up. It's in their reports that they come out with every quarter, because they have to, because of all the funding that they have secured. It's costing them upwards of $10,000 per user in hardware spend. So now, how do they actually ever recover that? So they're charging 200, but it's costing them 10 grand. Okay, how is that going to ever work in the long term once they've run out of VC money? That is what I'm trying to say. OpenAI in its current form cannot and will not survive. Okay, Nvidia in its current form cannot and will not survive, because they are a monopoly, because they are the only game in town when it comes uh, to artificial intelligence. So now, in its current form, they are just not going to survive. Okay, so let me go show you this, guys. So now, less than a year ago, they were valued at $2 trillion. Now they're valuing at $4.4 trillion. Now, for Nvidia to survive, they have to make sure that their pricing is competitive, because there are other players that are already coming in the marketplace, and that is going to really, really bring down the prices on these GPUs. Now, how is Nvidia going to compete in its current form? They cannot. So either the prices of these GPUs must come down, or they find new ways of GPU, or they always be innovative that nobody else is doing. That cannot happen. Okay, my best case scenario is what happened in the dot-com bubble. How many network companies used to be there? I was invested in quite a few of them, and all but Cisco died. Okay, that is going to happen with these AI companies like OpenAI and NVIDIA. Just because they are first in the marketplace doesn't mean that they are the best. These companies are going to fail as soon as the VC funding runs out, or or they start charging 10 times what they're charging right now. Okay, either the costs they should come down, or the price of these models they go much higher for the advanced users. So now, if somebody is paying $200 a year, for which they're getting 10,000 worth of services in return, because that's how much it's costing OpenAI, will they pay 10,000? I don't think so. So that business model is not viable, is all I'm trying to say. So now, the only viable paths going forward, in my opinion, are somehow these LLMs, large language models like ChatGPT 5, they really bring their costs down dramatically, or they kind of curb the usage on these LLMs to these high-end users, because current form is just not viable. So now, will they will be able to raise prices? They can try. I don't know that. The other thing is the GPU prices fall because of new competition, bringing the cost down for people or for companies like OpenAI and AWS. So that is a viable solution. Really, it is, and I think that's one of the solutions I see happening. So now, that is not going to be good for companies like NVIDIA. So again, the point I'm trying to make again and again is NVIDIA in its current form is not viable. It's not sustainable. It cannot last long. Okay, the valuation. Company itself, yes, it's viable. But is it a $4 trillion company? Absolutely not. Is it a 1 trillion? I don't think so. A few hundred billion? Yes. So right now, it's about 10 times more than it's actually worth. Okay, guys. So now, black swan deflation. So this is the actual path, which is is good for everybody, where GPU costs fall by competition, and cloud costs fall from neo cloud rivalry. Like, more people come in the cloud computation, and the chips prices they come down, GPU prices they come down, and costs overall come down by better hardware, better performing hardware. So again, the takeaway from all of this is AI runs on subsidies. All right, guys, it's not some kind of a, a pill that you can take and live forever. Okay, without any cost breakthroughs or higher pricing, the entire thing collapses. Because in my calculation, in my opinion, VC money is about to run out. VC money is not going to last for more than another 2 to 3 years. Either the costs they come down dramatically in another 2 to 3 years, or this entire house of card collapses under its own weight. I think that's it. So be very careful if you're invested in companies like NVIDIA or OpenAI and other AI-related companies. Do your homework, because this is a bubble waiting to be popped. And I think it's going to be sooner than later when this thing actually happens. So that said, have a great weekend, guys. I'll come back on Monday and I'll talk about China very soon, as soon as I'm done with gathering all my facts and figures. All right, guys. Thanks. Bye.